Good morning, gamers. Welcome into the Gamers Roast podcast. I'm your host, Joshua J. Alongside me, Wesley Lance.
Good morning, everybody.
I'm back,
Yay!
baby!
Aaron and I had a good time last week, though.
You guys did really good.
Thank you.
I was really impressed. There was a couple things that I wanted to say, and I was like, oh, they better say it, and you guys did, and it was like you channeled my mind.
I feel like we talked about everything last week. He and I sent him 5 articles I want to talk about. I was like, what do you think about this? Let's pick 3. And then he sent me 4 more, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to talk about all of it now.
It was good though.
So.
I was impressed. I mean, he did a really good job, really good fill in. He'll definitely be back on the show. Seemed like you guys liked him. The views were going up. I was pretty impressed.
I think it was. I think it's dangerous to have us both doing a show by ourselves because you're normally the grounding. I'm the one that does the weird Southern accents, and then Aaron pulled out his Speedy Gonzalez voice, and I was like, oh
gosh, yeah.
Well, I don't know where this is going.
It was good though. No,
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked listening to it, not kind of knowing what was coming up. To be on that side of things.
Yeah. It's a fun experience.
It was good. It was good. Today's October 21st. We're already almost through October.
I know.
It's crazy. Halloween's coming up. Spooky.
I don't really care about Halloween.
Excited
but
for
sure.
our Halloween episode.
Oh yeah, I am excited for that. That's going to be fun.
next week. Next week. Oh gosh. That's going to be fun.
Wow.
We should have a guest on there for that episode.
Yeah.
So it depends on his schedule. Hopefully he will be a good friend of mine. But real quick, just to get some of the grind out of the way, for Halloween, it's probably going to be the Friday night before Halloween. We want to do a Twitch stream of the House of Ashes game. So it's going to be me, Wes, Aaron, whom you've met, and then a friend of mine, Chase. He's a blast to hang out with you guys.
This is
really
going
like
to be
him.
fun.
So all 4 of us are going to choose different characters and play through that game together. And it's going to be a blast. I'm super excited. I hope you guys will join us for that.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be our first stream.
I think that'll be our first actual official stream. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. It'll be a lot of fun. So I'm super excited for that. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys will join us. But let's hop into it real quick with some football.
Yeah.
Good to be back for football. 2 weeks ago, I screwed up. I said that it was...
What's new? Sorry. That was really mean.
Was it the Rams or was it the Chargers that I said?
I think you said the Chargers.
And it was the Rams.
It was the Rams.
Yeah, I screwed up, and so I'm sorry for that. I apologize. But anyway, this time it's going to be the Denver Broncos against the Cleveland Browns, and I'm going to pick the Cleveland Browns, and I think they'll win by 7 points. You know what? No, scratch that. They'll win by a last-minute field goal.
Okay. I still can't get over the fact that that's their actual football team name. I lived just outside of Cleveland for most of my childhood, from when I was 2 to 8. So I remember we heard about the Browns all the time, and as a kid, I was just like, "Oh yeah, it's just the name." And now that I'm older, I'm like, "Why would you name that? Just sounds like poop."
Yeah, they need to change their name, and the Washington football team needs to come up with a name. They
just
gotta
decide
get a
on
good name.
something, guys.
Please.
I understand changing it, but this is getting to the point where it's the artist formerly known as Prince. You got to come up with something.
Just anything really.
There's so many mascots you could pick from.
Leave a comment below what you think they should. I don't know, what's something they could choose, the Washington
rain clouds.
There you go.
It rains
Washington
crazy.
Rain clouds,
This is Washington State, right? This is not Washington, D.C. doesn't have a football team. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Washington, yeah. You could do Washington Thunderbolts.
That could be cool.
It's kind of like the Chargers, have a little bit competing logos.
The Washington Needles, because the Space Needle in Seattle.
Gosh.
Okay.
Anyway, leave a comment below what you guys think that they should name. Why Seattle?
Because Seattle, Washington.
Oh, I was thinking Seattle Seahawks. I was like... Wait a second.
Because it's in Washington.
Right. Let's get past the football talk before I embarrass myself a little bit more. Anyway, on to coffee.
Yeah.
The thing that we are here to talk about, and video games too, mainly video games, but coffee's a little bit
But coffee too. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. It's Folgers. But you've been singing that song ever since we got here to record, and it's now stuck in my head, and I've never even heard the stupid song.
It's a great jingle.
Well, straight off the bat, I don't like Folgers coffee. I never have. The taste has always tasted kind of bland and dusty to me. I can't explain it. But I've heard a lot of people say that this 1850 blend is better.
1850 blend is the best Folgers you can get. In my not.
That feels a little bit
opinion.
like saying that like this is the best gas station coffee you can get. Like
Essentially,
it's
yes.
still gas station coffee.
It's still Folgers, but and they have it. You can have it brewed, like drip coffee. You can have or cold. I chose the cold one this time. And yeah, so let's just.
You just tell they needed to doctor it up because it's got a crap ton of sugar in it. Sorry,
hey, it'll make it taste good.
Sorry, I am. I'm already
make
biased.
It taste gooder.
I'm already biased against this. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Very sweet. That's really, really, really. That's like
it's very thick boy.
It's very thick. It's very sweet. That's actually more. That's actually sweeter than anything I've gotten at Starbucks, I would say.
Yeah.
That's wow.
It's almost like a consistency of milk.
Yeah, it actually kind of tastes like sweetened condensed milk a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a sweet coffee milk.
Yeah. You know what? It tastes a little bit like tiramisu. Like,
yeah,
it's that level of sweet. It does. Because that's got like, now tiramisu doesn't have coffee in it, I don't think. I think sometimes you can get it with coffee in it, but like imagine tiramisu with a little espresso like grounds sprinkled on top.
Does.
That's what this tastes like. So it's certainly not bad, but it's just mainly sugar. So there's
You're right.
So one of the things that I've judged our coffees on is the nuance of flavor. It's why I put Black Rifle coffee as high as I did, because it had a good blend of the cream with a nice robust coffee flavor behind it. And this doesn't just taste like sweet milk like the first Starbucks we got, the Starbucks cold brew, just tasted kind of like sweet-ish water. This does have more to it, but man, I don't know.
I would honestly, cause we have such a rating on our scale that it's hard because cold coffee is so different from hot coffee. But as far as cold coffees go, I would rate this at like a 6 or a 7.
I'd go
on the whole scale. I'd put it at about a 5. It's like medium tier. Like,
yeah,
if you want a cup of coffee, like a good cold cup of coffee that you can just pick up and drink, this would be my go-to. If I had if I could go and stock my fridge with cans of cold coffee, it would be this.
Really?
Yeah, I like it over the cold Starbucks, over the Monster, over.
I see. I like
Does
it over.
Red Bull have coffee? I don't know.
What? They probably do. I like it over the Monster and the Starbucks. I would not take that over the Dunkin' or Black Rifle. So on the whole scale,
I like the Black Rifle.
On the whole scale, I'd put it at a 4.5. On the scale of like the cold sweet coffees we've had, probably still at like a 5. I don't know. It's fine. It's just so sweet, and that is so overwhelming that there's not really a point to drinking it for me. I might as well have a soda at that point. It doesn't really taste like coffee.
Right. Man, we're gonna get to so many coffees that eventually we're gonna have to do like a scale of 1 to 100 and give it a certain amount of points.
Yeah,
like have different, like on taste it's this, on feel it's this, on bitter. Like we're gonna have to break up some of this stuff, break it down a little bit more for you guys.
I will say I appreciate that it just is coffee and not what Coke tried to do and trying to blend
carbonate
Coke and coffee.
That looked interesting. I'm glad I wasn't here for that one.
It wasn't terrible because it just tasted like Coke. With just like a coffee aftertaste.
It looked like it was similar to what you gave me that one day.
No, it was not nearly that bad. It actually tasted good. Like I would drink that. Like I took several sips of that. It just Coke and coffee don't really work together. They don't.
Right.
The flavors didn't meld. It was just like Coke and then coffee, and that was just a weird, off-putting sort of thing.
Well, as our palate gets more refined, we'll be able to tell you guys a little bit more about
swirls the brandy.
And we'll be able to tell you guys more about different types of things in the coffee and give it better ratings and things like that. But until then, bite me. So,
wow. I knew this was going to be a different episode, but okay.
Oh, gosh. Why don't you go ahead and go on to the rest of the week?
I think I got to interrupt you before you get a little off the rails. Yeah, so Roast of the Week this week was actually something that I heard about initially in the Geeks Under Grace group chat. So y'all know League of Legends, huge MMORPG. I've never played it before. I have no knowledge of it. But apparently, the developer Riot has completely disabled cross-team chat in order to reduce toxic behavior. So initially in the game, you were able to chat like globally. So you could even chat with people that were not on your team. That's gone now. You can only chat within your team. And that was allegedly to reduce the amount of toxic behavior in the game, which what I don't get about this is they haven't gone all the way. You can still global chat after the game, like as the results are stacking up. So like, if anything, I feel like people are just going to store up all of their angst and bitterness during the game and just spew it out at the end of the game. But
it would be like Modern Warfare 2 when at the very end of the match, you just hear all of the profanity against your mom. And it's like, man, why? And then you had one kid that's like, my mom died. And you're all like, why would you?
Yeah,
it's so sad.
To me, this doesn't seem like a good... Now, granted, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I am a regular Joe Smo roasting these multi-million game developers who have been doing this for years and years and have way more experience than I do. So, you know, forget what I have to say. I don't understand what goes into moderating chat. But this feels a little bit like a nuclear option. To just be like, you can't talk because obviously you're all too stupid to not be terrible. But obviously people are too stupid to not be terrible. So like,
that's games. That's just that is a part which I get. I grew up. It makes me feel old saying this. I get that I grew up in a different generation of people that could somewhat take it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But also you kind of understood it as a, when you go into a game lobby, you got to go in going, you know what? Things are going to be said, but they're strangers that have no idea who I am or what life that I actually live, and they could be in their mom's basement and be 55. So you got to go into it thinking like, I don't know who you are. Don't talk to me. It doesn't bother me. Or just mute. Just mute them all. You can hit the mute button.
Yeah, I suppose. I think so. I guess I have a little bit of a different opinion about it. Like, yes, and quite frankly, just being alive at this point, you have to be aware that some people are just going to be jerks for the sake of being jerks. Mm-hmm. However, I think especially recently as I know the majority culture has like started to realize the amount of hatred that has been directed towards people in minority groups, whether that's racial minorities, religious minorities, etc. And so I think people are trying to be like, hey, we really don't want to tolerate this kind of behavior because it's been going on so long. Like, because a lot of it has been that suck it up attitude. And that's also not a great thing. So yes, to a certain extent, you have to just be like, yes, this is not about me. They don't know me. But on the other hand, it's got, at some point when it keeps happening, it's got to be hard to not let that come, like, hit you deeply. So I understand the efforts to reduce it. I think one of my favorite things though was there was some discussion on the League of Legends subreddit, and a lot of people were like, is it just me or does 95% of the abuse I get come from people on my team? And you can still talk to people on your team, so it's not even really like doing what they want it to do. So
yeah, it's just like you said, it's like a nuclear option. Like, because some of the best moments I've had is going against someone, and during the kill cam, you know, hearing them curse you out as you're the one because you killed them from behind or something. And it gave you such satisfaction, even though like they're cussing you out, you're just like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's all talk. I killed you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like some of my best moments were from doing that. I made friends that ended up having cussed me out when I killed them because they hit me up with a message saying like 1v1 me. We did, and then we became friends and played together. Like, so it's that hard balance because yes, you don't want to tolerate it. I get that, and it does really affect some people. And then on the other hand, you just getting rid of everything. It's don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type of a.
I think the difficult thing is there is a distinct difference between trash talk and actual abuse. And like, because trash talk is just a part of the game. Like,
right.
You see it in professional sports. You see people trash talking each other all the time. And there's a distinct difference between that and like actual like attacks on somebody's like personhood. And that does, a lot of times it does get mixed up. And I don't know how you moderate that, but just saying you can't talk to people who are on the other team, A, doesn't solve the problem, and B, is throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
Because also, yeah, like there is a level of kind of that fun banter that you kind of understand as going on the internet, that's just kind of the way people work. Now, I also think that it is partially, yes, a different generation, but I also think that the internet has gotten by and large much more toxic in the past 10 to 15 years.
100%.
Like the community on Xbox Live, I think there was a mutual understanding that we're all just playing a game and that, yes, when you cuss people out, but like it kind of is that trash talky sort of thing. Excuse me. But like now that line is blurred big time.
Yeah. Well, everyone talked about everyone's moms.
Right.
And then now it is a lot more.
It's a lot more vicious and toxic.
They know kind of where to hit and what buttons to push.
Yeah.
You know?
It's less about playing the game and more about hitting you where it hurts. And that's not good.
No, and I get that. Kids these days, man, the kids are evil.
Yeah.
They're evil little gremlins, man. Stay away from kids.
That was a little deeper than I was expecting the roast of the week to go. But it's but it's difficult because it's hitting at a fundamental thing of like what counts as free speech and what counts as harassment and like how much do you tolerate? And that's a really, really hard thing to do. If I'm being perfectly honest, Riot, I don't think this is the way to do it because A, it's not solving the problem. People are still going to get abused by people on their own team. And B, it just feels like you're just kind of like, okay, boom, nope, we're not going to deal with it anymore without any nuance to it. And I don't know how you'd go about having nuance. I don't know if you'd pay people to moderate the chat, which just...
Get refs like they have in the NFL that just throw flags. Like when the Bears and Packers were playing, the Bears sacked Aaron Rodgers on Sunday, and he like leaned over Aaron Rodgers and started like yelling at him, like taunting him or whatever. So they threw a flag, and I was like, whatever, they're doing it for everyone. Well, then Aaron Rodgers ran in for a touchdown, looked at all of the fans at Chicago and said, my whole effing life, I've owned you. I own you. And I was like, okay, he doesn't get a flag for that?
Wow.
Like, he's not wrong, but what? He's 26-5 when he plays the Bears.
Yikes.
I'm so excited for him to retire, move to another place. I'm not going to say the last one. Just be gone, please, Rodgers. You're a thorn in my side for too long.
Speaking of toxic speech on the internet,
no, I didn't say anything. I'm ready for him. I'm ready for him to go to a different team.
I'm ready for him to go away.
Like if he goes to another team, I'll be happy. But yeah, so like they trash talk. Just get referees for League of Legends that just like a yellow flag comes up on your screen and says you've been flagged.
You could not pay me enough to be a ref on to moderate the internet.
You'd get so tired of hitting the flag button. You'd be like, oh my God.
There's no amount of money. There's nothing.
No amount of money.
Okay, I probably
there's
shouldn't
always
say that.
An amount of money you could pay me.
Everyone can be bought. Anyway,
it
would be a very, very high amount of money. Oh, that would be terrible. Anyway,
sponsor us. That's all the amount we need.
No. Anyway, okay, we got to move on.
I like that roast though. I liked it. It was
a little bit more. It was a little bit deeper than we normally get on the roast of the week. Normally, the roast of the week is just me like Deathloop, work. Don't stutter with a mouse, and then we just keep moving on.
Well, if you haven't seen it, stuff has happened this past week. DC Fandom. So that, I don't know, did you watch any of DC Fandom?
I don't really follow DC at all. The only DC movie I've seen is Wonder Woman.
Well, oh.
I mean, I've seen like the Dark Knight trilogy, but that doesn't really feel like a DC movie. I know it is, but like...
I get what you're saying, like the new DC.
We did go to see Aquaman when it came out. I remember that. Barely.
Was all right.
It was very forgettable.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, let's just keep going. I got to keep going. My mind goes to places that I just got to focus here real quick. Okay. I apologize. But no, DC Fandom came out and they showed a Suicide Squad game against the Justice League. They showed the Harley Quinn cartoon show that's coming out.
Wait, another one? Didn't she already have one?
She has a show, like a cartoon show.
Yeah.
They're coming out with season 3.
Okay.
So I watched the first 2 seasons when my wife was in labor with my daughter.
Oh yeah, that was a time.
It was over 24 hours of that. So I just, nothing I can do except sit there and say, "You got this, honey." Because I'm a man. I can't do crap. It's I'm useless in those moments.
Push harder.
Oh, I did not say that. That is not the thing that I said.
It's like I wanted to keep my teeth. Thank you.
I held her hand, and when she would fall asleep, I'd go watch my show, and Harley got me through it. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
So they're coming out with season 3, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
But they're also coming out with a game, Arkham Knights, and I am so excited for that.
So is this part of the Arkham series?
Yes. So if you haven't played the last Arkham game and you want to play it, you don't want any spoilers, just skip ahead a few minutes. But so in the last Arkham game, everything leads up to, and I believe that it's canon, Batman died. Some people think that he didn't. Some people think that there's open interpretation. Anyway, it's presumed he's dead.
Okay.
He's gone. So no more Batman. So that's where this kind of takes off. And this is from cnet.com, and it's Alessandro Filari.
Yeah, probably. That's
Alessandro
right.
Filari. Anyway, if I said it wrong, I apologize. I know read so good. And it says just like Batman Arkham Knight, Gotham Knights is an open world action game, but this time it focuses more on the Bat family and their united efforts to stop Batman's rogue gallery of villains.
Bat family.
In the new trailer from DC Fandom, we got a deeper look at the larger story of Gotham Knights, which includes the presence of the Court of Owls. As in the comics, the Court of Owls is one of Gotham City's older criminal syndicates, influencing for several generations the elites of the city and their hierarchies. The Court of Owls' vast resources and the army of undead Talon assassins add an element of mystery to Gotham Knights.
I'm sorry, what?
To complement familiar villains like the Penguin and Mr. Freeze. On top of the storyline of the story trailer, we also saw a behind-the-scenes segment with the creators of the game. They talked about many of the influences driving the game's story, including Scott Snyder's run on the Batman comic series during the 2010s, and the title's blend of the mechanics and role-playing in action games. So you can read the article. I'm going to link in the bio. There's a lot more to this article that you can read. But the Court of Owls.
So I always knew Batman was a little weird, but like, there's zombies in Batman now?
It gets so good.
Wait, that got really like...
I'm Batman.
The more you were reading, I was like, what? Wait, a Court of Owls? Okay, I've never heard of them, but whatever. You know, there's lots of weird stuff in Batman. Then you're like, undead. I was like, what? There's zombies? And it just kept getting...
assassins.
I didn't realize that Batman went that deep.
Oh, dude. So in my opinion, the best Batman... I guess, movie, show, cinema that I've ever had is the Gotham show. And it was fantastic. And they had the Court of Owls in that show and kind of dabbled in it. And I tell you what, this is something that I am so excited for.
Yeah.
I am, and it's a co-op game. So you have you can have up to 4 people.
Okay.
And you're discovering who the Court of Owls are and trying to uncover this thing. And it's super exciting to me because it's like the Illuminati in the real world.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you found out the Illuminati were 100% real and now they're out to get you and you have to take them down, but you don't know who they are. You just know that they're real. Like, and then they show up and they're all in these Illuminati masks and they're like, we know you. And you're like, oh my gosh. Like, that's what happens in here. But they have really cool owl like face things and like
owl face thing
masks. I couldn't think of the word again there for a second. But the one guy has like a really cool gold one that I'm sure is worth like millions of dollars. And he's like, let's make it into a mask. And they're like, cool, yeah, we got a lot of money over here. And they're like, cool, let's do it. So then they made a gold mask. Sorry, I'm off on this mask thing, but it's really...
You really are obsessed with the gold owl mask, yeah.
Dude, I wonder if that could be a skin you could equip the gold owl mask. Oh,
I mean, could be, I guess.
It'd be cool if they made a game where you were the Court of Owls. Like, you were in on the whole, like, inside of things.
I feel like that would be, like, a little bit overpowered, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I mean... So, like, you had to work your way up through the Court of Owls to become the guy with the gold owl mask.
Oh, gotcha.
And then your whole goal at the end of the game is you have to kill Batman. So, like, you're trying to go against Batman. Instead of being Batman, you're trying to kill the Batman. Like, oh, my gosh. And everyone would know right away it's Bruce Wayne, so they'd have to switch it up and have someone different. You go Bruce Wayne's house, poof, he's dead. And they'd be like, I did it. And then there's another Batman.
There's still a Batman.
And you're like, I was wrong. So it probably wouldn't work. But it'd be cool.
You could probably figure out a way to make it work. I mean, Batman has apparently such deep lore at this point. I feel like I'm such a noob. You drank way too much of that.
This
stuff.
works. It works.
Yeah, I was like,
Normally coffee does not work.
You were
for me.
speaking very fast.
Golden Howl masks.
Yeah. I feel like you could probably make it work. I sound like such a noob with Batman. So I don't read comics, neither Marvel or DC. It's just too deep for me. There's just too much at this point.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot when you get into the comics. When you get into the comics,
yeesh.
The whole new world.
But as a game developer, I'm sure it's great to have that depth, that wealth of like lore that you can pull from.
Yeah. I'm excited for the game.
No. Really? Sorry. It was very sarcastic.
It looks really, really fun. And
it sounds really cool.
When they brought in the Court of Owls, it just intrigued me so much more than it just being a normal Batman game.
Is the online co-op, is it cross-platform, or do you like have to have it on like the same thing?
I did not check. I did not look that up.
That'd be really cool if it was. But I feel like the cross-platform thing works best for like bigger games like Battlefield or Apex, like where you're on bigger teams and they've got their own servers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, if it's like local multiplayer, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Not a lot of games do local multiplayer anymore.
Right. So that would be cool. Either way, it just I'm like I said, I'm hyped about it. I think it'd be cool to play all the different characters and discover. It sounds like Batman's always had a detective game mechanic to it.
Yeah.
In all the Batman Arkham games. So this one, I think they're going to lean a little bit more into that. I'm hoping for the Court of Owls. I think that'd be really cool. So that's what I really enjoyed about the DC fandom. Fandom or fandom? Please don't wreck me in the comments. Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. And
Fandom just sounds like a place where like fans fight each other.
Yeah, but I really think it might be that.
The fandom.
So either way, one of the two. But I'll definitely link that in the description below. Because like I said, go read the article. It's a really good article. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I wanted to talk about actually came out on Thursday after you guys got done with the podcast.
Because of course it does, because that's always what happens. We record a show and then it's like, hey, this huge thing is going to happen right afterwards. So we're a week late. Sorry, everybody.
Hey, you know what? If y'all sponsor this show, we can do it full time, do it every day. That's on you, not on us. It's your fault, not ours. Pay us money and we'll do it.
That's a great way to endear yourself to your fan base. Blame them for your lack of...
Not like blame them, but yes, blame them.
It was a direct blaming. There was a lot of blame happening.
Give me your money. Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone.
We finally know what it is.
Been revealed. Holla freaking Luya. So it's not your traditional battle royale.
Yeah, it's not.
It reminds me a lot, and they even said it in this article. Hunt the Showdown. So
I don't know what that is.
Hunt the Showdown is a game released, I think, 2 years ago, where you have a team of up to 4 people, and you hop in, and there's all these monsters, and you don't have many bullets, but it's more like, think of a Western style, and it's really dark and grimy and like raining, and there's like a witch with bees, and she has a hornet nest on her head. They're flying all around her, and they'll attack you.
No. Do not like.
There's a weird monster in the water that'll kill you, and you have to go and you find like one of them, the big monsters, this huge spider. And the team has to put together the puzzle of where the spider is and go to where the spider's at. And I mean, this thing's giant, and it's just this big barn, and you're like, I know the thing's in there, and I'm deadly scared of spiders, so I hated it.
Really?
So you go in, you try to find the spider, and it crawls around the ceiling, and it's dark, you can't find it, then it attacks you. You kill the spider, and you get this like token or shard or whatever, I can't remember what it is, and then you have to escape with it. So it's PvE, but also PvP. So there's like 4 other squads or 2 other squads that also are trying to kill said spider, get the thing and extract it. So you can wait at one of the extraction points, let them do all the work. As they run out, shoot them and kill them and get their stuff. And then you extract and you get it without doing any of the work. But there's like 8 different points to extract, so you never know which one they'll go to. I was horrible at it. But that's kind of what this is. So,
yeah, it sounds very similar.
So this one, I'll read a little bit by Eddie. Oh my goodness.
You have these last names.
Makuch?
I don't know.
Makuch?
CH is sometimes
I'll link
K.
it in the description below. It's GameSpot.com article. And it says, in Hazard Zone, you play in a 4-member squad, and your objective is to locate and retrieve data drives that have fallen from satellites. You'll scour the landscape for these drives as you fight against AI combatants and other teams of human players trying to do the same thing. DICE says Hazard Zone is not a battle royale mode, as the objective is not strictly to kill other players, but to escape with as many drives as possible. There are 2 limited time extraction opportunities during the match, and the extraction points are located on different parts of the map. You and your team can opt to leave during the first extraction, which happens midway through the match, or wait until the end of the final extraction. It's riskier to wait, but you'll also have more time to collect drives, so the rewards will be greater. In any event, only 2 squads will make it out alive, or none. Hazard Zone supports 24 players on PS4 and Xbox One, 32 players on PS5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. So it works out to 6 teams of 4 and 8 teams of 4, depending on your platform. No matter what, only 1 player on the team needs to survive and extract for the entire team to win. So, this is really exciting to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was a huge map at first. I thought it was a really big map. It's actually, I think, a bunch of smaller maps that you can play on.
It looked like it was most of the maps that you can play in the original, in the main game.
Right. So I think it's going to be a really cool take on it. I'm excited to, because once you die, you're dead unless you get bought back.
Yeah.
Similar to Warzone.
Yeah.
And you'll have to go into spectator mode. But I'm really excited to just get a Barrett 50 cal, hide up on one of those glaciers like in the trailer, and just blast people as they try to stink and grab these drives, and then have my team go get it and then extract. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a really cool twist on it.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's going to be a small part of what Battlefield is. Like,
well, it sounds like this game is enormous.
Yeah.
Really.
With the multiplayer, which is just like their normal multiplayer, then you got Portal and now Hazard Zone. I'm beyond hype for this game.
Well, I think they've really done it justice to make this game really have some longevity. I think that's what we haven't really seen from FPSs probably since like MW2.
Yeah.
Or like maybe Team Fortress 2, because Team Fortress 2 is still going pretty strong, and that's been a long time. But like MW2, as far as like classic first-person shooters on consoles, probably MW2 is the longest, like the last one that we've seen that really had a sizable lifespan. Most of them are dead within 2 years. And
right.
It sounds like DICE has really put in the effort to make this thing last, which is really cool. So I don't know. I think it sounds like even for those people like me who might not be able to hop on the train for a while, there's still going to be game to play when we do.
Yeah, I think they're making it worth the $70.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I hope that it as you play that you realize that, because with Halo being free to play and Modern Warfare, Warzone being free to play, they got to make something different with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Portal is going to be the big factor. If they nail that and they do it right, I think that's going to be the biggest thing of like, yeah, I'll pay $70 for this. I'm super excited for it. For Gotham Knights. I mean, Gotham Knights isn't coming out till next year, but Battlefield's coming out this November, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's so close as long as it doesn't get delayed again. I mean, we got so many. Don't say it. If it does get delayed, I can't really be too upset.
As long as they're delaying it for the right reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
If it comes out and knocks it out of the park after they delay it, and it's not like a Cyberpunk, perfect. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that. If they delay it, it comes out and it's like still like what'd you delay it for? Then that makes no sense.
Right.
But there's so many games coming out in October. I'm gonna be filled with games. You know, I mean, you have the House of Ash coming out, which I know we'll probably play that in a single night. It only takes about 4 hours to get through those games, but still, that's a game I'm gonna have to buy. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. That's going to take me a while to play through. I'll tell you what, I'm super pumped for that. There's I can't even think of them off the top of my head, but there's a decent amount of games. Halo's coming out in November, and that's going to be free to play.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out this holiday season that I mean, Battlefield's in there somewhere, and I'm definitely going to get it and play it. But if they delayed it and put it out a different couple months down the line when there's really not a lot out, maybe that would be better for them. I don't know. It just depends on if they can take on Halo and all these other games and merge out on top. Because I played Halo 2, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you and I both played it a little bit, and it was a blast.
It made me feel like I was playing Halo again. So I really enjoyed it. But anyway, we got to get out of here. I just want to say thanks again for tuning in, for watching this episode. I know it was a little crazy. The coffee actually worked
it's weird
this time.
that you were the crazy one this time. I'm normally the one doing weird voices and getting obsessed over random things.
Owl masks, golden. Lots of money. Anyway, sponsor us.
It really does have that much sugar in it, guys, just so you know.
If you guys are listening on podcasts, there's a donation button below. If you'd like to hit it and get me my owl mask, my gold owl mask, I'd much appreciate it.
Something tells me it's going to take a little bit more than podcast money to get a golden owl mask.
You'd never know. Never know. There could be that one Elon Musk out there watching that goes, you know what? Let's get Josh his owl mask. And I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate you.
I feel like that would mess with the audio quality.
Hey, it'd be worth it.
You'd sound like Bane.
Hey, that'd be cool. I was born.
You were born with the owl mask. I was born in it.
Anyway,
molded by it. You have to talk like this in order for it to really be accurate to the movie. Oh, that was a weird movie.
If you're listening on podcast services, hit the donation button if you could. If not, just keep listening, sharing it with friends. That's much appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Do all of the things that everyone ever asks you to do every time that they're on a podcast or any type of YouTube show. And we appreciate it. And so we'll see you guys next time. Until then, drink lots of coffee, play lots of games, watch football.
Don't get hyped up on sugar.
Dude, it's so much fun.
No, it's not. It's not fun for those around you.
It's the Christian drug. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, everyone.